We will call to order the Moore City Council meeting scheduled for April 7th. Would you call the roll, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Here.
Sid Porter.
Here.
Melissa Hunt.
Here.
Louis Williams.
Here.
Adam Webb.
Here.
Rob Clark.
Here.
Mark Ham.
Here. Would you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is the consent docket.
Make a motion, we approve the consent docket, items A through D.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second for the consent docket. Would you call the vote?
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Consent docket carries. Item 3 is consider approval of a library services facility and maintenance agreement with the Pioneer Library System for fiscal year 2025-2026.
Mayor and Council, this is just the annual maintenance agreement that we have with the Pioneer Library System. There aren't any changes. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, there's no questions. We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 4 is consider resolution number 10625, adopting a utility benefit policy for surviving spouses of a member of the City of Moore Police Department or the City of Moore Fire Department killed in the performance of their official duties, and if approved, modified the personnel policy and procedures manual by adding utility benefit policy pursuant to said resolution. And I had talked to the city manager about this, and this is something that the city of Edmond did a number of years ago, and I remember hearing about it. And I thought, that's something that the city of Moore should also do. But unfortunately, I slipped my mind and never brought it up. But there is some current legislation that our state senator, Darrell Weaver, is working on that is, if passes, it'll become a law. So this ordinance is just going to mirror basically what the state law is probably going to be. And I hate that it took that to get us to this point, and it's something that we should have done a long time ago. So if you have any questions, Brooks can probably answer them. If not, we'll just need a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. And I hope we never have to use it. Item 5, I've been asked by the city staff that we strike this item. So I need a motion.
Make a motion to strike item 5.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item is stricken. And item 6 is a companion, and they've also requested that we strike item 6 from the agenda.
Make a motion to strike item
Second.
6.
Okay, you've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item stricken. Item 7 is consider authorizing the purchase of 5 U.S. Digital Design G2 fire station alerting systems, training and configuration of equipment in the amount of $202,415.76 using NPP Gov contract number PS20350.
Mayor and council, our 911 communication dispatchers utilize station alerting systems to notify our firefighters of calls for service. Our current system is antiquated, it's unreliable, and at some of the fire stations it's in disrepair. These challenges are presenting a quality of life issue for the firefighters, and we've explored multiple options, and this is the best option for our department.
And I understand that this will help alleviate some of the alarms going off at a station that isn't going to necessarily have to respond
Yeah,
in-
correct.
interrupt
Right
their
now, the
sleep?
systems are not working correctly, so the 7,000 some plus calls we make a year, some stations have to listen to all those calls all night long because the systems are not functioning correctly.
Okay,
Big improvement.
yes.
This is a budgeted item.
It's not a budgeted item.
It's not currently a budgeted item. There are available funds to pay for it, and we will come back to council at a later date with a budget amendment.
Okay. All right.
Make
Make
a,
a,
Very good.
go ahead.
make a motion to approve?
Second.
We have had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 8 is consider approval of an agreement with Tusnua Lawn and Landscape LLC for landscaping and maintenance of 25 flower bed locations throughout the city from April 14th, 2025 to November 1st, 2025, and the budgeted amount of $72,000 as the lowest quote.
Mayor and council, this item is an agreement to landscape and maintain many of the flower beds throughout the city. All other locations are cared for by our parks crew. Recommend approval.
I would just ask, when this company will submit an invoice for work, do we go out and verify that they've done it?
We are inspecting their work.
Okay, great.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
I've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 9 is consider approval of a contractual agreement with Tusnua Lawn and Landscape LLC for mowing park locations in Ward 1 from April 21st, 2025 to October 25th, 2025, and the budgeted amount of $66,040 as the lowest quote.
Mayor and council, items 9, 10, and 11 are companion items, and they are for mowing the different wards. Item 9 is Ward 1, item 10 is Ward 2, and item 11 is Ward 3, and those are specific parks within those wards.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
And the mowing, does that include like weed eating, trimming,
Yes.
all that stuff? Okay, great, thank you. We've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams,
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 10 is consider approval of a contractual agreement with Tusnua Lawn and Landscape LLC for mowing park locations in Ward 2 from April 21st, 25 to October 25th, 2025, and the budget amount of $44,310 as the lowest quote.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had the motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes. And then item 11 is consider approval of a contract agreement with Tusnua Lawn and Landscape LLC for mowing park locations in Ward 3 from April 21st, 25 to October 25th, 25, in the budget amount of $82,250 as the lowest quote.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
I've had the motion and a second. Would you call the vote?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes, and a lot of money was awarded to them, and so let's just be diligent about following up with the work, as we want our city to look good. So thanks very much. Item 12 is consider the appointment of Kara Benson and Chris Robinson to the Parks Board to fill Ward 2 and Ward 3 vacancies.
Mayor and council, the park board had a subcommittee that interviewed several candidates, and they chose Kiara Benson and Chris Robinson as the best candidates. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Adam Webb,
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. And welcome to the Parks Board. They do a lot of great work, and looking forward to having it fully staffed again. Item 13 is consider approval of an agreement with Happy Playgrounds LLC as the lowest, most responsible quote in the budget amount of $75,000 for the design and construction of a playground at Northwest Fifth and Markwell.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we had a neighborhood meeting and a vote on several different types of the playgrounds, and this playground was chosen to, as the lowest and most responsible quote that fit our requirements. Recommend approval.
So is this the lot that's not right on the corner, but it's one corner, one lot back? Okay.
It's where the sidewalk is.
Yeah,
And it
uh-huh.
goes right to down to the
Okay.
school area.
I had a question. The property is on the other side of that sidewalk? Just for knowledge, does the city own that?
Yes, and we were hoping to put a half-court basketball court there for
Okay.
the older kids' future.
Very good.
Very good.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second?
Okay, and it's great. I like to see these little smaller neighborhood parks get some attention. I know they'll be well used. Would you call the vote, please?
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 14 is consider approval of an agreement with Pinnacle Consulting Management Group, Inc., in the amount of $121,450 for right-of-way acquisition services for the Northwest 27th Street and Shields Boulevard Interchange Improvement Project, ODOT JP number 36866904.
Mayor and Council, this is your typical agreement that we've had with all of the projects in our bond issues. This is a particular project that is with the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. Pinnacle has a lot of experience in working with them. There are approximately 14 parcels and property owners that they'll have to deal with. Would recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes. Item 15, consider an agreement with the newly formed Cleveland County Economic Development Coalition, CCEDC, a countywide economic development effort providing marketing and branding support for the city's commercially viable areas and workforce development efforts.
Mayor and Council, the CCEDC, Cleveland County Economic Development Coalition, is a not-for-profit organization formerly known as the Norman Economic Development Coalition. They have broadened their scope and now encompass all of Cleveland County. I believe, and I know we've had discussions about this before, this is the most comprehensive way to do economic development is through a countywide effort like this. It's the most practical way to engage those primary industries and market ourselves as a county, not specifically just a municipality. So again, we want those jobs as close as we can to us, and if they're not in our city limits, well, we sure want them to be within our school district and within our county. So that's what we are all working collectively on. Retail efforts will not be included in this contract, in this agreement. Those will remain with the city, so we will do our own retail recruitment, and all the other municipalities will do their own retail recruitment. Again, this is for primary job creation. Examples of primary employers here would be Simple Modern, Garver Engineering, Western Farmers, Hyatt Shared Services. Those are the types of jobs and the type of employers that we want to retain here and then also recruit here if possible. And again, collectively, collaboratively as a group, as a county group, doing those efforts. The initial agreement would end on June 30th, 2025, and is in the amount of $15,867. That's a prorated amount based on the fee of $1 per capita. So our full year fee would be $63,470, which will come at another time. This $15,000 is unbudgeted at this time. However, we do have $5,000 budgeted for our Oklahoma City Economic Development Partnership. That's not yet been spent because we knew this was on the horizon and was hoping that it would come to fruition, and it has this fiscal year. So we have the $5,000 that was set aside for the Oklahoma City Partnership that could be applied to this $15,000. And one of the stipulations of joining the CCEDC was that we also join the Oklahoma City Partnership. So we don't lose our membership into that. So again, it's a coalition of Cleveland County working with the Oklahoma City Economic Development Partnership, and that's exactly the way that economic development should work. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
And just so the mayor and council know, we have the balance of the amount due in contingency funds.
And Deidre, how will we be represented at board meetings and decision-making type meetings?
Very well.
Yes.
In the contract, it calls out that the city manager or his designee would sit on that board, and so that's what we
Okay.
assume will happen. And those board meetings, there's an executive board and a board, and those executive board meetings are monthly, and I believe there's quarterly board meetings.
So is there a due or whatever for the Oklahoma City Coalition? And what would that be?
For the Oklahoma City Partnership?
Yes.
There is, and so that's kind of fluctuated over time. We've paid annually for 23 years. The entire time that I've been here, we've been a part of the Oklahoma City Partnership. With us dropping out and now joining through the coalition, they have negotiated an agreement with the Cleveland County Economic Development Coalition. And we are joining Oklahoma City Partnership. I think it's at a $25,000.
And
I
that's
think is what
predominantly
it is.
South Oklahoma City, right?
Actually, no, the South Oklahoma City part will be represented by Cleveland County Economic Development Coalition, and then the Oklahoma City Partnership is actually a 10-county region, so it's a huge partnership group. But instead of us going as Moore, Norman, Noble, Lexington, we'll collectively go as Cleveland County, and we'll participate in the Oklahoma City Partnership as Cleveland County.
Okay.
Did that
Thank you.
answer? your
Yes.
que- Okay.
Thank you.
great.
Very good. So curious about the cities that are joining,
Uh-huh.
and there's some obvious missing cities? What's the story behind that?
Possibly. Well, we're the first to join, and again, this is a reconfiguration of the Norman Economic Development Coalition that's been around for around 20 years, actually. So we are the first municipality that has joined of the new. Norman, City of Norman, is currently under contract, and their contract ends June 30th. So they have the option to renew into and become a member of the Cleveland County Economic Development Coalition. I don't know if they have an interest in doing that or not.
Okay.
And again, don't know about the other municipalities.
Okay, thank you. Make a motion, we approve.
Second?
And I would just have a comment that I had an opportunity to attend their, I don't know if it was their annual or their initial banquet a month or so ago with Deidre, and a lot of great information and a little bit more detail on how this will work. I know during the campaign, one of the questions that I was asked is, what am I going to do to get jobs in more? And that's always a difficult question because we're a unique community in that we don't have a lot of big business here. You know, we don't have a Tinker, and Boeing likes to locate close to Tinker, not build their engineering design facilities and more. They want to be close to where it's at. But those people are going to choose to live somewhere, whether it be in Midwest City or Moore or Norman. So I think this is a great opportunity to help make sure people know about Moore, Oklahoma, that might be moving in from all over the country. And as you guys know, Kathy, you're in real estate, that this area is just continuing to grow by enormous amounts. So I think it's a good investment of city funds, and I know with you being at the meeting, you'll represent more well to make sure that we're heard and not overlooked. So,
Absolutely. That will absolutely be my job. And I just wanted to point out too, this is private sector led. So of this coalition, while the municipalities hold a seat, it's primarily private sector led. And there are more companies that are a part of this. Silver Star Construction has paid in to be a part of this coalition. Home Creations has paid to be a part of this coalition. A lot of those home building companies will see a benefit of being a part of that. And again, want to encourage development in the county for certain.
great. We have had a motion and a second, and you can call the vote, please.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item passes.
Thank
Thank you. Item 16 is consider declaring the following trailers, vehicles, and miscellaneous equipment as described in Exhibit A and authorize the items to be sold through auction on a Public Surplus Plus LLC site using Sourcewell contract number 012821-TPG.
Mayor and council, we've been going through and cleaning up some of the areas and trying to get rid of some of the older equipment. This particular auction, we have a couple of 1998 vehicles, older trucks, and a couple of older mowers and other type equipment. We are putting on the auction 3 older garbage trucks. One is a 2013 and then 2 2015s. And it's just, we need to go ahead and try to get as much resale value as we can, and this is the source that we use. Recommend approval.
I'd be curious what those trucks sell for. I know what we pay for them. The resale is. I'm sure they're worn out.
We provided a best estimate, and as I said, some of those are very old, but usually it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,000 to $8,000 for those older trucks.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. Item 17 is considering awarding bid number 2025-010 to Midtown Construction in the amount of $1,429,750 for renovations to City Hall and authorize the city manager to execute a contract for the same.
Mayor and council, this was one of the projects that was funded through the sales tax note last November. So we went through the process with TAP Architecture for the design and the bids. And so Midtown Construction came in to be the low bidder. TAP has experience working with them. So we're pleased with the result and recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had the motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item 18 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve consent docket item A and B.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. Item 19 is consider approval of the budgeted purchase of 1,404 polycarts from Hyrig Pacific Company Container Group at a total cost of $76,172 as the lowest responsible quote.
Mayor and council, we received 3 bids for the polycarts. We typically do this in the spring and then again in the fall. Purchase 2 truckloads. The lowest responsive bidder was Rare Rig. The lowest bidder was Toter Polycart. We've had some experience of failures with those carts. They're a little thinner polycart than what the Rare Rig is. The Rare Rig is a high-density polyethylene, and in the wintertime on our older Toter carts, they get a little brittle and they'll crack, they'll crush when we try to pick them up. And so with that, we would recommend that we go ahead and consider Rare Rig as the lowest responsive bidder. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, item carries. This time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item 20 is the consent docket.
Make a motion to approve items A and B of the consent docket.
Second.
Would you call the vote, please?
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item carries. We'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and reconvene the City Council meeting. Item number 21 is citizens forum, items not on the agenda. Nobody signed up. Is there anybody here that'd like to speak about something? Item B is items from the city council trustees. Anybody?
I just want to thank Fire Chief Marler for the great job he did. He had one of his fire personnel recently retire after 23 years, and it did a great job of having that reception for him. And I just think it's important with all of our long-term employees who retire to have things like that, that we thank them for the service they've done to the citizens. And a great job on that, Chief. I just want to thank you.
Most definitely. Just a couple of things that I would have, on Monday, the 14th, right? Yeah, Monday, the 14th, we're doing the groundbreaking for the 4th Street underpass. Construction has started, obviously, everyone knows that, but we were gonna do it back in February, but the weather, it just wasn't gonna be good. So, council, if any of y'all are available and you wanna swing by, it starts at 9:30, and it should be pretty quick. But this is a big project, something that we're all glad to see, and you know, it's going to be a while now. We're just starting, but it'll pass. Also, council, on September 9th through the 11th is the OML conference, and that's here in Oklahoma City this year. So if any of y'all are interested in going, encourage you to just get with Brooks, and they can get you registered and signed up for that. There's a lot of good breakout sessions and things that are of interest to municipal government. And then I just want to say thank you to Commissioner Rod Cleveland. They've been working on the parking lot over at the Brand Senior Center, and I drove by there today, and the parking lot, the asphalt's all been poured. It looks like all they really need to do now is the striping of the parking lot. And then thanks to Commissioner Jacob McHughes, he worked, and his crews worked over at the Buck Thomas Park, over down by the softball and baseball fields, and redoing all of those, and it's been striped and it's done. So those combined projects between municipal government and county government save us thousands of dollars. They provide the equipment and labor, and we provide the materials for it. So I love to see our county and municipal governments work together to get the most out of our tax dollars. So we definitely appreciate it when we're able to do that, and city staff working and coordinating all of that together. Thanks. And I think that's all that I have. Brooks, or what's the next? Anything from you? I forget what it says.
Just one thing. When the City Hall renovation starts, it'll take approximately 6 months.
Okay. And we'll go to item 22 is executive session. Section 307, Title 25 Oklahoma statutes permits the public body to meet in executive session for certain specified reasons under certain specified conditions. It's the opinion of the city attorney that the city council may consider and adopt a motion to meet in executive session to discuss the following items. Item A is discuss, consider, and if deemed appropriate, take possible action regarding pending case number CJ 2024-38 filed in Cleveland County District Court by Jim Buxton on behalf of William and Ann Urban against the City of Moore, and authorization for legal counsel and staff to take action as necessary and appropriate in the interest of the City of Moore as authorized by 25 Oklahoma Statute 307B4.
Make a motion, we convene to executive session.
Second.
Had a motion and a second. I always feel like I'm reading the implied consent when I read that. It's just, someday I'll have it memorized. Would you call the vote, please?
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark.
Yes.
Kathy Griffith.
Yes.
Sid Porter.
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we'll convene to executive session. Okay, item C is reconvened from executive session, and just let the record reflect that all that were present are still present. Item D is action.
Make a motion to proceed as directed.
Second.
We've had a motion and a second. You can call the vote, please.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt,
Yes.
Debbie Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes. Item passes, and item 23 is adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Would you call the vote?
Sid Porter,
Yes.
Melissa Hunt.
Yes.
Louis Williams.
Yes.
Adam Webb.
Yes.
Rob Clark,
Yes.
Kathy Griffith,
Yes.
Mark Ham.
Yes, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.